35 want to chat a little bit about this iconic picture of 6-year-old Ruby Bridges. This image depicts the moment that she became an icon, really, for the civil rights movement. Back when schools were still deeply segregated, she helped bring an end to that.
She stepped into an all-white elementary school in New Orleans in the 60s, and the bravery and the courage are what we are celebrating today on this, the very first ever California observance of Ruby Bridges' Walk to School Day.
Current 4's Sara Stinson has the story for us live in San Francisco. Sarah?
Yeah, can you believe that? I mean, 4 years ago, a 5th grade class at Martin Elementary School here in South San Francisco had a dream to make a day for Ruby Bridges, to honor her. And today is the day. It's a statewide event. They were doing it before here locally, but they fought to make sure it was statewide. Take a look at that picture again of Ruby Bridges. She's 6 years old, and she was in Louisiana, and she was, just an icon in the civil rights movement. And she actually had to be escorted by U.S. Marshals to school because it was that dangerous. People were yelling racial slurs at her. People were threatening her. 6 years old. She's just trying to go to school, and there's only one teacher who would teach her because she was a little black girl. That's it. She's an innocent little black girl. Now joining us is an amazing teacher that we have the privilege of talking to. That's Deborah Carlino. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you believe that 4 years later you have this happening, a statewide walk for Ruby Bridges?
It's incredible, but when you think about the power of Ruby Bridges and what she did, that's what children are doing. They're stepping together, they're standing together, they're walking with Ruby to make a positive difference in this world. Ruby wants these kids to come together today and have a conversation about what they can do to make the world a positive place, no matter what it is. It might be litter, cleaning up litter. It might be helping others who are homeless or houseless. They want to make a positive difference in this world, and kids have that ability. As you can see, they have the ability to do this.
Yeah, you have always asked your students, as you told me earlier, to do something for others outside of the classroom. 4 years ago, it happened to be that it was, let's start a Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day, and here we are. You guys were at the Capitol after Senator Becker got it approved. What was it like when you met Ruby Bridges?
The children were shocked. We stood there, we were going to tell her about her special day, and we were flummoxed. We were just so confused at what to do and awestruck that we didn't tell her. And then after she walked away, I said, "Why didn't you tell her there was a day?" And they go, "I just got so nervous." And I said, "I did too." So then we had to go up and interrupt her dinner and tell her, and the kids were crying. They were just overwhelmed with emotion, as was I. We couldn't believe it. I mean, we were just shocked that we were standing there with Ruby Bridges, who is this important part of our history. She's such an important part of our history and an amazing adult now.
Yeah. And she's a civil rights activist that deserves a day, and that's why you guys made it a statewide event. She's going to secretly, we'll whisper it, she's going to secretly join you guys virtually today. How do you think that's going to make the students feel?
I think they're going to be overwhelmed. I mean, my kids, I think, are going to be really overwhelmed that she is connecting with them and caring about them and walking with them as well, at least in spirit today.
Yeah. To honor a brave 6-year-old walking to school, it's just so important.
It's so important. It's important, too, that when children look at the world, they look at the news, they see all of those scary things, that they take heart that they are a part of this world as well. They can affect change. They can do something. Not just talk about it, but get off their couches and walk and do and have actions. They have to believe that.
Yeah, and you really inspired this whole day. I mean, you inspired the children enough. They got fired up and they did it. So we need more teachers like Miss Carlino. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful day walking with the kids. We're going to join them because it starts in just a few minutes, right?
Just a few minutes, yes.
Here we go, statewide, baby. Good job.
Yes, go Ruby.
Yeah, we got our little pins on. We've got our orange. I heard orange is her favorite color.
Orange is her favorite color, but she's recently adopted the purple, which is our school color.
Yes,
so
perfect.
She probably just knew that from Martin Elementary. Right?
It's meant to be. It's meant to be. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we're going to continue to cover this all morning long. It's an amazing sight to see. And guess what, Dari James? They're not stopping here. I think the next step is to make this a nationwide walk to school day. So can you believe it? All starting right here from South San Francisco.
That's great.
That would be phenomenal if they could take that nationwide. Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. And she's beaming. She gets to cover and we get to spread a great story. Isn't that nice on a Wednesday in the
news?
news?
A smile on your face for sure. We'll be right back.